Lesson 4.7 now. The other half of it is perpendicular lines. We dealt with parallel lines in the first part of this lesson. Now we're going to look at perpendicular lines. So I'm going to have you start writing equations for perpendicular lines, and we're going to write them in slope-intercept form. To show you, I have to show you how perpendicular lines work first. So I have drawn here two pairs of perpendicular lines, and what I'm going to do is we're going to count the slopes on these lines to help you learn how perpendicular lines, how they're related, and how we know when they're perpendicular. Okay. The first thing, perpendicular lines have 90-degree angles. Since I've drawn these ahead of time, I know that they are 90 degrees. And so we have 90-degree angle here, 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 here. And the same thing on the other set. We have four 90-degree angles. So the perpendicular lines, their slopes have a relationship. So let's count these, so then we'll take a look at what the exact relationship is. So let's take a look here. And again, when we count slope, we want to look for spots just like this one right here. I want to make sure that I have a spot that's real clear that here's a T. Here's where the diagonal black line crosses that spot. So I'm going to put a dot there just to help me identify it. Nice big green dot on that one. And let's follow the diagonal line up. Let's see where's the next spot. Oh, it actually crosses a plus right here. That'll be nice. It even works with my other line. So perfect. So now let's count this slope. Let's see here. Let's count this. All right. I'm going to count up. I'm going to start right here. Count up one space, two spaces. So I am up two. And how much do I go over? One, two, three spaces over. So the slope on the black line, I'm going to use my black pen. So M equals, I went up 2 over 3. So the slope on the black line is up 2 over 3. Now we need to find the slope on the red line. So I'm going to draw my circle back in there again because I need another one. And let's make sure I have that nice neon green color so it's easy to see. So now I have one dot on the red line already, don't I? So let's find another one. Let's follow this line down here until we hit another spot right there. All right, so now I'm going to make a nice little spot on that. Okay, so let's start at the dot on the left and count over to the right. And again, now I need my red marker to help me with this. So my red marker is right here. So I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3 spaces. So I went down 3, so that's a -3. And right 2, 1, 2 over 2. So now my slope of my red line, M equals, and I'm going to put my down of -3 first, over 2. So I have a slope of -3 over 2. What we want to look at is now, there is a relationship between the two slopes. And what I want to point out to you, notice here we have a slope of 2/3, or 2 over 3. And notice here with the other slope, the numbers are flipped, 3 over 2. The second characteristic that you'll see with the slopes, not only are the numbers flipped, called the reciprocal, they are the opposite sign. One is positive, one is negative. The black line goes up from left to right. It's got a positive slope. The red line goes down from left to right. It has a negative slope. Perpendicular lines always have opposite slopes. One is positive and one is negative. So what we're looking for then is this. For perpendicular lines, the first thing I'm looking for is an opposite sign. Opposite sign. So opposite sign, another one is positive, one's negative. And the second thing is that the numbers are reciprocal. Oops, that wasn't very good. So now I get to rewrite that. Numbers I bet some of you are wishing I'd type R with one letter R like I was texting, don't you? Numbers are reciprocal. And reciprocal, guys, I can't write as a text. Reciprocal. Okay, so numbers are reciprocal. Opposite sign, numbers are reciprocal. So let's take a look at these two lines over here. And I'll tell you right now, they're perpendicular. So we're going to look, are they opposites? Notice the blue line's negative, green is positive. So one is negative, slope, the other one's positive slope. So now we're going to take a look and let's put our dots on and let's count our slope again. So I'm after my slope on this one. And I'm going to use red for the color. So here's one where I have the blue line crossing a plus, and let's count down here. And here's another one crossing a plus right there. Whoops, I'll make that's a little big, but oh well, we can count that. So let's count our slope here. Starting with the dot on the left, count down one space. Counting over, whoops, I want a blue marker. I don't want a black one, I want a blue. Because the line is blue. Click on the right color, Mr. O. So we have a down 1, so that's a -1. Over how many spaces? 1, 2, 3. Follow the bouncing ball. So we got a -3 for my slope there. So the slope on the blue line, notice I'm still using blue for my blue slope, is change in y. I went down 1 over 3. So I have a slope of -1/3. Let's check out now the slope of the green line. Slope of the green line. And I want to put a fancy little red dot on this also. So let's see here. Do I got a plus? Here's a plus right here, right there. See that green line's hitting a plus there? So there's one right there. Let's follow this down. Here's another one right here. Very good. All right. So starting with the dot on the left, going to the dot on the right. Now I need the fancy, I need my green marker, don't I? So we're going to have that green right there. So we are going to count from the left to the right. And I go up 1, 2, 3 spaces up. And over 1. So I have a slope on the green line of up 3 over 1. Do we have opposite signs? Yes. This one is negative. Blue is negative. Green is positive. That's a good thing. Look at the numbers. Are they flipped? 1 over 3 and 3 over 1. So the numbers are flipped. In your book, they try to get tricky. They don't write it as 3 over 1. They write 3. So we have to remember that there's an imaginary 1 written underneath there to remind us that 3 over 1, same as 1 over 3. So a -1/3, it's reciprocal, and the opposite sign is +3. The opposite, if I want the reciprocal of 3, it's going to be 1/3. Opposite sign means it's negative. So that's how that works. So let's take a look at how we can use this with the idea of writing the equations. Next screen, please. Here we go. Here's the direction you're going to see. Write the slope-intercept equation of the line that passes through the given point and is perpendicular to the graph of the equation. This is the skill they want you to take. They won't give you a picture. They give you a point, -5, 1. They give an equation, -5/3 x, -7. That's the original line. It's the original line. We have to write an equation for a second line. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, we have to remember our buddy. We got a formula that's going to help us out with this a lot. And we're going to start, and we're going to later on, we're going to get to the formula that'll help you. The first thing you have to do is you've got to find the slope in the equation. So where's my slope? This is a slope-intercept form because it's written y equals your slope. Always right next to x. It's right there, isn't it? So the slope of the original equation is -5/3. So the slope of the new equation. And now I'm going to put this little symbol here. This is a geometry symbol. This is the geometry symbol for perpendicular. The perpendicular slope, and slope is m, so perpendicular slope equals. All right, opposite sign. Slope in the original equation is negative. Slope in the new equation will be positive. Take the numbers and do the reciprocal. Instead of 5 over 3, I write 3 over 5. So now I have, instead of a negative, I have a positive. I have flipped the numbers. Yay, team. So now we can write the new equation. We have to use this point and this slope. Now notice the two words I said. That will give us our handy-dandy little formula. It tells you this point and this slope. Exactly, I'm going to use the point-slope formula, which means I want this guy right here. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right, fill into that formula. We're going to fill into the formula. Y minus y1. Where's y1? Right there. The number 1. So I write y minus 1 equals, what is that perpendicular slope? 3/5. I'm going to use this rascal. So 3/5 times x minus x1. Where's x1? -5. Now you should know from your point slope work, when I got minus a negative, that is like a +5. +5. There we go. So now I've written the point slope form. However, the direction says we want our buddy slope intercept. So we have to multiply and then we're going to shift the 1 over. So we're going to distribute the 3/5. Y minus 1, I'm just going to copy that. I'm not working with that. And I write 3/5 x. And now, remember, fraction times the number back here. Top number times that. 3 times 5 is 15. So I have 15 over 5. Keep the denominator. Can I simplify 15 over 5? Yes, yes I can. That's a 3. So let's just rewrite it and make it a little easier for ourselves. Y minus 1 equals 3/5 x plus 3. Oh, that's a bad x. There we go. That's better. All right. Next, what am I going to do? Slope-intercept form means get the y by itself. Plus 1. Plus 1. Answer. I'm going to write it over here because I see I'm running into my other equation. So it's y equals 3/5 x plus 4. And I'm done. Yay! So I have 3/5 x plus 4. And this is it. This is what I'm after right there. A lot of steps. But notice now I have a slope-intercept equation. The perpendicular slope would be, instead of a negative, it's a positive. The numbers are flipped. And I have used the point slope formula to find my slope-intercept form of the new equation. Lots of steps. Take your time. I don't have any problems for you to do, but I'm going to do one more example with you. If you really think you have it down and want to try it, this is what I'm going to ask for you to do. Because I know the video at this point is now at 11 minutes long. So if you want to start after one example, you can. What I want you to do is start on page 239. And I want you to do numbers 6, 7, and then you're going to go to page 240, and you're going to do 20, 21, 22, 23. So it'll be 6 problems to do. You can start if you'd like to. And if you want to keep going with the video, then keep going from here on. Okay, so the last question. Oh, I need more room than that. Okay, so now another question here. I'm given this point, 4, -1, and y equals 2x minus 4. So what do I do now? Okay, perpendicular slope. Okay, I gotta have a new flavor here. Yeah, blue. I did the last one in blue. Doing red. Okay, so now, what's my perpendicular slope? Perpendicular slope is going to be, let's see, this is like 2 over 1. Remember, there's a plain number, it's like over 1. So now let's flip those numbers. If you flip them, I write 1/2, don't I? And not only that, I have 1/2. This is positive 2, so my perpendicular slope has to be the opposite sign, -1/2. So my perpendicular slope is -1/2. I have a point and I have a slope, and I'm going to use my point slope formula, so it's going to be y minus -1 makes it plus 1 equals, I have a slope of -1/2 times x, and I got a 4, so it's x minus 4. So now distribute. Y plus 1 equals -1/2 x. I do -1 times -4, and remember, it's negative times negative is a positive. 1 times 4 is 4, so I got 4 over 2. I'm only multiplying the numerator times its top number, times the big number. And 4 over 2, that's the same as 2, so I'm just going to recopy to make it easier. -1/2 x plus 2. Get it into slope-intercept form. Let's get this one out of here. So we're going to go -1, -1, and I got y equals a -1/2 x. And 2 minus 1, of course, is still 1 these days. So there's my final answer. Y equals -1/2 x minus 1. Okay, I'm done. Why don't you go ahead and give those 6 problems a shot? I have them right here for you. Page 239. Start with numbers 6 and 7, and then go to page 240, numbers 20, 21, and 22, and 23. Let me know how I can help you. Be sure that you check your answers with my answer key. Just take it off my desk and check your answers before you turn it in. I want you to know if you got it